Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you.
Hey everyone, this is Josh Hayward and welcome to day 10 of the 12 days of CRAFTmas. Merry Christmas, guys. I hope that you all are having a great Thursday night and that your week has gone well, that you're getting excited for Christmas time. It's almost here. Hopefully you got your shopping done and hopefully starting to slow down a little bit, getting into that Christmas spirit, ready to enjoy the holidays. But I'm really excited for tonight. We've got some great brews, not only tonight, but for the next two nights. These are two of my favorite holidays / Christmas / winter beers. Haven't had either one of them this year, but I've had them in years past, and I'm really looking forward to them tonight. All of the brews thus far have been pretty solid. We've only had one or two that I didn't think was really good. We've had a pretty decent selection thus far, way better than the pumpkin series, but just so happened that the ones here at the very end are pretty solid. Either favorites of mine or favorites of other people in the craft beer community. So really looking forward to tonight. We've got two very, very different beers this evening. One is a very hoppy holiday IPA. The other is a standard winter ale. So we're going light and hoppy all the way to dark and malty tonight. So it's going to be great. I really can't wait to get into these beers. And I'm really looking forward to finishing these tonight, actually. Doing these reviews, you can't waste it unless you really don't like it. So looking forward to enjoying these. The Christmas holidays have started for me, in fact, so I am officially on vacation. So it's going to be great. The first beer that we have, and I'm so excited, I just went ahead and poured the beer. I haven't even talked about it. Let's set you right there for now. This is Hoppy Holidays. And so sorry for not giving the intro on this beer. This is a special seasonal release from NoDa Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina. NoDa is one of the great craft breweries in Charlotte, doing lots of great things for craft, lots of great beer, and lots of great things in the craft community. But they've released Hoppy Holidays for several years now. Goes back many, many years at this point. And it's something that everyone looks forward to every year. Very limited release, very limited supply. Folks will come and kind of camp out in a way, pick them up in the tap room and enjoy them over the holidays. But this is I call it a winter IPA. 6.5% ABV, very, very hoppy. If I remember correctly, lots of nice piney notes in this. So it reminds you of Christmas time, Christmas tree, evergreen trees. And it's got, I like the artwork on it, it's got a Santa on one side and got Mrs. Claus on the other. But Hoppy Holidays, a great, solid IPA for the holidays. As I've already poured it out in my excitement, we have a golden beer, beautiful golden beer with a standard white head there. Rather, this one is actually pretty clear, not much of a haze in this beer at all. It is very, very transparent, so to speak, and just a very, very pretty beer. Looks crisp, looks clean, just a nice looking beer for the holiday season. Let's see what we've got on the nose. Oh wow, I love the hoppy goodness. Not much malt in this at all. The big aromas that you get here are just very, very nice, amazing aromas of fresh hops. And what comes through the most in this to me is pine needles. Like fresh pine needles. If you were to go to a pine tree, rip off a clump of needles and almost like squeeze it and tear them, the oils in that is that smell, that very nice piney smell, similar to a Christmas tree, how a Christmas tree would smell, depending on the type of Christmas tree you have. The spruces, the firs, the pines, those types of things. But just very, very fresh smelling, floral and maybe slightly spicy, but mainly that piney, really, really nice piney aroma. And I'm excited. I'm ready to just dive into it. Cheers. Gotta love a IPA that takes your breath away. In a good way. This is, man, it's excellent. If you like IPAs, you will love this. If you're not too great of a fan of IPAs, you might not necessarily like this one. Subtle on the malt, kind of a white bread. It kind of sits at the background, kind of as a subtle backbone to the beer. Just a mid-taste, you get a great burst of floral hops. Then you get the pininess, very resiny, oily. The hop aroma and taste lingers on the palate throughout the sip, and then post-sip, a nice bitterness, strong bitterness, strong on the IBUs on this one. I was actually wanted to find it, but I do not see it. This one's pretty high though. Going to be pretty high on the IBUs and pretty high on the perceived bitterness. But this is an IPA lover's dream when it comes to winter beers for sure. I mean, that's a hoppy kick if there ever was one. That's probably one of the most hoppy IPAs I've had in a little while, and it's very enjoyable. Just get that great piney flavor in there. A nice dryness post taste, and it lasts for a while, and it's like take another sip. You're sitting here, dryness, take another sip. It's just great. Really like this beer. I've always liked this beer. As an IPA fan, I've always loved this beer. Never had it on tap though, and I will say I saw a few instances where folks were getting kegs of it in local Charlotte tap rooms and bars and restaurants and things like that. So that's going to be my next endeavor, is to find it on tap. I bet it's even greater on tap. But yeah, great beer, Hoppy Holidays. Cheers to NoDa Brewing on a great winter beer. Always appreciate what those guys do. They're always putting out great beers, and Hoppy Holidays never disappoints. If you're interested in this beer or haven't had it, let me know. I've got a few of them actually, and I will share. I love it, but I'd love for people to experience that beer even more. So next one we have is a very special beer. This is from Highland Brewing Company out of Asheville, North Carolina. I believe they are the oldest craft brewery in Asheville, actually. And this is called Cold Mountain. This is Cold Mountain, their winter ale. This is a very hard beer to find. I actually had to reach out to a friend of mine who owns a bar, and he actually got a few of these in, and I actually had to go to the bar to actually buy it and take it home for this series. Just really hard to find. As soon as Highland puts this out in production, it only goes to a few places, and they go like this. And even, I believe, when you go to the tap room and get it, you can only get a limited supply. So really looking forward to this beer. A nice winter warmer style. Let me see, you got any stats on here? 5.9% ABV, spiced winter ale, complements holiday gatherings and festivities. Cold Mountain is a malty in body, lightly hopped, rounded out with spices, nuts, and fruits. So Cold Mountain is definitely a favorite, a staple in this region. Again, I'm in the Carolinas, in the U.S., so whenever the days start getting colder, everyone starts looking towards Asheville and towards Highland for their Cold Mountain release. So I can't wait to try this one. Had one bottle of it last year that a buddy of mine gave me, and I actually didn't have the bottle until like March. It was like one that was left over. So really looking forward to this one. Oh, that's beautiful. This is exactly what you would expect a winter ale to be. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful color. Beautiful color. I think just about completely transparent. There's no haze, hardly any haze in this whatsoever. A beautiful amber color around the sides of the glass. Even gets down to a dark gold towards the bottom, and then towards the middle of the glass up here and in the middle, it's a beautiful copper color here. So multi-hued beer there, just beautiful. And they do that, they achieve that through the different kinds of malts they've used, the different kinds of kilning that is done to create those levels of malt. And it's just beautiful. Just looks like a nice Christmas present, I would think. There is a tan head on this beer. Again, I gotta swirl the glass, get it activated a little bit. Off-white creamy head, not quite tan. That the tan head would be more like what we saw in the darker beer from the other night. This is kind of slightly off-white, creamy, I would say. Yeah, first as I start to swirl it, it's slightly tan, between tan and an off-white. But just a very, very pretty beer here. I almost wish I would have made a full pour just to get that picture, just because it's so beautiful. But let's see what we've got on the nose. Oh, fresh. I'm getting a nice toasted bread maltiness in here. I'm getting some caramel notes, some toffee notes, some dark fruit notes. Think raisin, think fig. Getting a nice freshness in there, possibly from some of the hops that they've used. These winter beers, winter ales, winter warmers, they're kind of going for more malt forwardness, but the brewer really has a lot of amazing opportunity to play with the hops, so to speak. They can kind of set them to the side and kind of be more malt based, or they can elevate them a little bit and have that bitterness balance out some of the sweetness from the malt. So I'm really interested to seeing how this tastes. It's been so long. Maybe even getting some nuttiness in there too. I know they said on the label that they use some nuts, but I almost am reminded of how some brown ales have that nuttiness. I feel like I'm getting some of that. So let's see what we've got. Cheers to Cold Mountain. Oh my gosh. That's like a dream. Wow. I think that's the best beer I've had thus far in the 12 days of CRAFTmas. It's superb. There's so much in it, so much going on in it, so much flavor. Nothing is too over the top or weighing anything else down. It's just a beautiful, beautiful balanced beer. Beautiful. I'm getting that toasted bread kind of as the platform for this beer. I'm getting some caramel notes from that. I'm getting some toffee notes. I almost feel like I'm getting reminds me of like black licorice in a way, but very, very subtle. Kind of playing around in there. I'm getting a nice hoppiness in this beer. Not a hoppiness like the IPA, but definitely a present hop flavor that I feel, like I mentioned a moment ago, that bitterness kind of balancing out some of the sweetness. I feel like toffee notes in here. It's light. It's a light, easy drinking, smooth beer. Almost reminds me of dessert. A nice nuttiness, like a chestnut. Oh man, there's just so much going on here, and it's so flavorful, rich. Not rich as in a Trappist beer rich, but rich and balanced in flavor, and not heavy, which is amazing. There's so much flavor in here, and yet it's not a heavy beer. It's 5.9%. It's easy to drink. It's smooth. It just goes down so easy, and definitely warming too. So I'm amazed at this beer. I can see why people in the region kind of freak out for it when it comes out every year. Yeah, this is a special beer. I feel like the guys at Highland kind of found one that works, so to speak, on the seasonal end. Not that any of their other beers not good. They have great beer. But this one is a winner, year in and year out, and they know it, and they do this limited release. But this is a great go-to beer around the Christmas season, just to enjoy some amazing flavor, but yet something that's easy to drink and really enjoyable. Really, really enjoy this beer. Lots of great flavors, breadiness, maltiness, caramel, toffee, some fruitiness, subtle fruitiness, some nice hoppiness, nuttiness, just lots of different great flavors going on in here. And I know I'm going on and on and on. I'm just trying to describe this beer as much as I can. But cheers to this one. This has been the best day of the 12 days of CRAFTmas thus far, day 10. Just two amazing beers, for the IPA lovers, and then for any kind of beer lovers. I mean, these are both incredible winners. So thank you so much for following along. I'm going to go enjoy these for the remainder of the evening because they're just too good not to enjoy. Thank you so much for following along. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the weekend. We're getting into Friday tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe out there. Things can get a little crazy. Thank you for following along again. I know I've said thank you 3 times now, but really appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Merry CRAFTmas, and cheers.